Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Gavin. Right now we are commemorating the solving of the 340 cipher of the Zodiac Killer by taking a close look at his victims and possible victims. November 28, 1969. Penn State graduate student Betsy Ardsma was on her way to the university's Patty Library in the University Park area of State College, Pennsylvania. She was walking with her friend Sharon Brandt and was planning on doing some research for an English paper that was coming due. Along the way, the two split up, but planned to get back together later that night to go see a movie. Betsy continued on her way to the library, stopping in at the office of her professor, Nicholas Jakovsky. She told him she was headed to the Stacks, which is officially called the Stack Building, and is one of the 3 additions to the Patty Library over the years. After leaving his office, she ran into some friends and chatted for a moment before she entered the library. Inside the library, Betsy was assigned a desk where she dropped her things and went to the card catalog. At approximately 4:30 p.m., she went down the stairs to level 2. A few minutes later, she was observed by a library employee alone in an aisle. The same employee, Dean Brungard, also noted 2 young men talking quietly in a nearby aisle. 10 minutes after that, Richard Allen heard a metallic crashing noise and saw a young man who looked like he was a student run past him. Back in the aisle where Betsy was last seen, she was slumping to the ground, knocking several books off the shelves as she fell and landed on her back. The sound got the attention of 2 students who, as they looked in her direction, saw a man running from the sound, concealing his right hand. He was about 6 feet tall, 185 or so pounds, wearing khaki slacks, a tie, and a sport coat. He may have been wearing glasses. The students couldn't remember. The man yelled, "That girl needs help." He pointed them toward Betsy's body. As they checked her for vitals, the man ran off. One of the students gave chase, but lost him outside the library. Bystanders began to gather around the commotion. One of the 2 students, Marilee Erdley, began administering life-saving measures as a call was placed to the campus hospital. The caller told responders that a girl had fainted, so 2 student paramedics were dispatched to the scene. Shortly after she was transported from the library to the campus health center, a senior responder noticed a tiny amount of blood seeping through Betsy's clothing. Upon closer examination, it became apparent that Betsy hadn't fainted. She'd been stabbed in the left breast. Most of the blood had stayed inside her body, filling up her lungs, and the tiny amount that had seeped out had mostly been absorbed by Betsy's red dress. She was pronounced dead at 5:19 p.m. Her killer had stabbed her a single time with a small knife, which penetrated her breastbone, severed her pulmonary artery, and pierced the right ventricle of her heart. He had then removed the knife and escaped. Betsy died within 5 minutes of the attack, according to the medical examiner. Because library staff believed that Betsy had simply fainted, they had custodians clean up once she was taken by the paramedics. By the time police knew they had a crime, the crime scene had been compromised. Pennsylvania State Police did, however, conduct a thorough investigation and had several theories as to what happened. They believed that Betsy's attacker was likely somebody she knew because she didn't scream or try to escape. They believed he was right-handed. They also found several stashes of pornographic material, as well as evidence of semen all over that level of the stacks. This led them to conclude that this was a frequent hookup spot for students. They theorized that Betsy witnessed something going on back there that somebody didn't want her to know or tell, and they killed her for it. What ties the case of Betsy Ardsma to the Zodiac Killer? Honestly, the links are tenuous at the very best. It is thought because Betsy was killed in the library and Sherry Jo Bates was killed near the library, and because they were both young college students, that the murders may be tied. There are other links that Zodiac Killer sleuths have tried to make as well, but they're even more flimsy. I think Pennsylvania State Police are on the right track in their theories, more so anyway than the theories about the Zodiac Killer. But I decided to include her case in my series as many people don't know about this one, and I think there's enough information in the public domain that sleuths might actually be able to help solve it. In the meantime, her killer, who would be easily in his 70s at this point, remains unknown. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below.